Two people, same company, same salary, $120,000 a year. Both 30 years old, sitting in the same HR orientation on the same Tuesday morning, filling out the same enrollment packet with the same pen. By age 45, one of them will have enough invested to stop working if she wants to. The other will still need every paycheck for more than 20 years. The decision that separated them did not happen at a whiteboard or a brokerage account. It happened on a single form in a conference room, and it took most people under 3 minutes to complete. This is the story of two financial maps drawn from the same starting coordinates, and the gap between them has a name. I call it the intention gap. It is not a gap in income, not a gap in discipline, not a gap in luck. It is a gap in architecture. One person built a system that compounds in her favor every single year. The other built one that quietly holds him in place. The math on the difference after 10 years on the same salary is one of the most clarifying numbers I have ever run. Let me introduce you to Daniel and Maya, both software engineers. Same firm, same role, same title, same $120,000 a year. They went to similar schools, graduated around the same time, carry similar student loan balances they are chipping away at. Neither of them is careless with money. Both of them believe they are doing the responsible thing. The difference is that Daniel has the default map and Maya built her own. The enrollment coordinator explains the 401k plan. Auto enrollment is on. If you do nothing, the system puts you in at 3%. 3% of your salary goes in, and the company matches 3%. Total of 6% of pay flowing into the account each year. The coordinator says that captures the full match, which is true. Daniel reads that, nods, and moves on. He is thinking about his new apartment and the student loans coming due next month. 3% gets the match. That sounds right. He signs the form and does not change a thing. Maya pauses on the same line. She changes her contribution to 6%, which is the minimum to capture the full employer match on her salary. Then she takes out her phone and schedules 4 tasks for Saturday. She is going to open a Roth individual retirement account and contribute $7,000 this year. She is going to enroll in the high deductible health plan option so she qualifies for a health savings account where she will put $4,300 this year. Whatever is left after those accounts are filled, she will automate into a basic index fund in a taxable brokerage account. She does all of this on Saturday morning. It takes roughly 2.5 hours. Then she closes the tabs and does not think about it again until next January. That is the fork. Year 1. Same room, same salary, same information. Here on Sarah's Money Map, we translate decisions into dollar amounts because that is the only language that actually changes behavior. If you want more breakdowns like this one, hit subscribe. Now let me show you why that fork compounds into something enormous. On the surface, Daniel feels like he is doing the right thing. And he is, mostly. The problem is that, according to Vanguard's How America Saves report, 33% of auto enrollment plans in this country default their participants at exactly 3%. And the data is consistent on what happens next. Participants who land on a default rate tend to stay there, not because they are irresponsible, but because the default signals correctness. The employer built the plan. They would not default you at something harmful, except the employer defaulted you at a rate that captures their matching contribution. They did not default you at a rate that builds your actual financial independence. Those are very different targets. I call the distance between them the default tax. It is not a line item you can see. It is the gap between what you are saving and what you could be saving, compounding silently against you every single year you do not notice it. Let me show you what year 1 actually looks like on paper for both of them. Daniel contributes 6% of his salary, including the employer match, which is $7,200 total, flowing into his pre-tax 401k. He has no Roth account. He has no health savings account. His emergency fund sits in a checking account. According to FDIC data, the national average interest rate on a checking account is 0.07%. On $10,000 sitting in that account, he earns $7 a year. Maya also captures the full match, so the same $7,200 goes into her 401k. Then she adds $7,000 into her Roth individual retirement account, which is the full IRS limit for 2025. Then $4,300 into her health savings account, again the full self-only limit for 2025. Then roughly $8,000 across the year into her taxable brokerage. Her emergency fund sits in a high-yield savings account earning around 4%, which on the same $10,000 earns her $400. Total invested in year one across all accounts, approximately $26,500. Daniel invested $7,200. Picture two bars standing side by side. Both start at the same height in January. By December, the first bar, Daniel's, has grown by $7,200. The second bar, Maya's, has grown by $26,500. Same starting point, same income. The bars are not even close to the same height at the end of year one, and that gap is going to compound every single year for the next decade. Year 3. Maya has approximately $80,000 invested across her accounts at a 7% annualized real return, which is the inflation-adjusted historical average for a broad stock market index. Daniel has approximately $23,000. The dollar gap is $57,000. But the number that matters more is this. Maya's portfolio is now generating passive returns that are themselves larger than what Daniel contributes each month. Her money has started working a second job alongside her. This is also the year Maya's health savings account becomes genuinely interesting. Most people think of an HSA as a medical expense reimbursement account. That is the surface layer. The deeper layer is that an HSA is the only account in the tax code that is tax-free going in, tax-free growing, and tax-free coming out for qualified medical expenses. You can also invest the balance in index funds rather than leaving it in cash. After age 65, you can withdraw for any reason and pay ordinary income tax, which makes it function identically to a traditional 401k, with better terms for earlier medical use. Financial planners refer to this as the triple tax advantage. Maya treats hers as a stealth retirement account. She has never touched it for medical expenses. She is letting it compound. Daniel does not have one. Now, you might be thinking, Sarah, that sounds like an enormous amount of accounts to actively manage. I want to address that directly. Maya is not checking 5 accounts every morning. She set up automatic contributions in week 1. Every stream runs on autopilot. The intentional setup took 1 Saturday. The passive benefit runs for 30 years. Year 5. Picture a different chart now. Instead of 2 bars, imagine 2 lines that started at the same point in year 1. In year 3, they began to separate. By year 5, the gap is not a crack. It is a canyon. Maya is sitting on approximately $150,000 across her accounts. Daniel is at roughly $52,000. But the shape of the lines is what matters most. Maya's line is curving upward. Daniel's line is climbing, but nearly straight. The compounding engine grows faster as the principal grows. 2 lines that began touching are now moving in fundamentally different directions. Here's a concept I want you to hold. I call it the optional line. It is the moment when your investment income covers 1 month of your living expenses on its own. 1 month where the market, not your employer, pays the rent. It sounds like a modest milestone, but it is a crossing point. It means the machine has started producing. It means working is slightly less mandatory than it was the month before. If monthly expenses run $4,000, you need your portfolio generating $4,000 a year in passive returns. At a 4% withdrawal assumption, that requires $100,000 invested. Maya crosses the optional line somewhere in year 3 to 4. Daniel crosses it in year 9 to 10. That is a 6-year lag. 6 years of Monday mornings where working was entirely non-negotiable for Daniel, while Maya had already started converting mandatory months into optional ones. The objection I hear at this point is usually some version of, I cannot put away $26,000 a year. I have rent, student loans, a car payment. And I want to be precise here because the protocol does not require matching Maya's exact numbers immediately. It requires sequencing correctly. 401k to the full match first, because that is a guaranteed return no index fund can match. Roth IRA next, even at a smaller initial amount, because tax-free growth in a Roth is irreversible once you start. HSA next if your health plan qualifies. Taxable investing with whatever is left. Even at half of Maya's investment rate, your 10-year trajectory diverges meaningfully from Daniel's default path. The order matters more than the amount in the early years. Year 10. At 7% annualized real return, Daniel has approximately $100,000 invested. Maya has approximately $415,000. The intention gap is $315,000 on the same $120,000 salary. Same decade. One map, one default. So here's the protocol for this weekend. 4 steps. Step 1 is to log into your employer's benefits portal and find your exact 401k contribution percentage. If it is below the percentage required to capture the full employer match, change it today. You are leaving compensated dollars on the table for every paycheck that passes without it. Step 2 is to open a Roth individual retirement account if you do not already have one. The 2025 limit is $7,000. If you cannot hit $7,000 immediately, automate a monthly amount that gets you there across the year. Roth withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. Daniel's pre-tax 401k withdrawals are fully taxable. That difference, compounded over 30 years, is substantial. Step 3 is to check whether your health plan is a high-deductible plan that qualifies for a health savings account. If it does, open one, invest the balance in a low-cost index fund, and treat it as a third retirement account. The 2025 limit for self-only coverage is $4,300. It is among the most underused tax advantages available to anyone on a standard employer health plan. Step 4 is to move your emergency fund out of a checking account and into a high-yield savings account. The FDIC reported national average for checking is 0.07%. A high-yield savings account at 4% earns roughly 60 times more on the same balance. Same liquidity, same federal insurance, dramatically different result. That is the map Maya built on a Saturday morning. 4 accounts, 4 automated streams, 1 architecture running without her attention. Now let me show you what the intention gap is actually made of. Because $415,000 is not an abstract number, it is not a beach house or a retirement account label. It is decisions. It is a decision Maya gets to make at 45 about whether she wants to keep working or take a different path. Daniel does not get to make that decision at 45. He still needs every paycheck. The gap is not a number. It is years of your life reclassified from mandatory to voluntary. And the years reclassified are not the ones at the end of your career when your knees hurt. They are the ones in your mid-40s, when you are at your most capable and your options are widest. Same salary, same decade, 1 map and 1 default. The only question is which one you are holding. Drop your current 401k contribution rate in the comments. Whether you are at 3% like Daniel, maxing everything like Maya, or somewhere in between, that number tells you exactly where you are on the map right now. I read every single one. I will see you in the next one. Not financial advice. This video is made for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. Some voice or visual elements may be AI assisted, with final review and editing by me, Sarah.